Most men don't lose their woman because they stopped loving her. They lose her because they stopped being a man she could look up to. Let that sink in for a second. Welcome to Stoic Heartbeat, where love embraces wisdom. Today, I'm handing you something most men live a lifetime without. The blueprint to command respect, without begging for it, without chasing it. Because here's the cold, quiet truth. Respect isn't earned by what you say. It's built by what you refuse to tolerate. A woman doesn't admire your sacrifices. She admires your standards. She doesn't fall for how much you give. She falls for how much you never compromise. Every time you bend when you should have stood. Every time you explain when you should have walked away. Every time you stay silent when you should have drawn a line, you lose a piece of the fire she once admired in you. But that ends today because a man who lives by boundaries, calm, clear, and unshakable, is a man who makes the world and the woman he loves rise to meet him. So listen close. These aren't rules to control her. These are codes to master yourself. Here are the 5 boundaries that make her fear losing you. And once you live by them, you'll never have to fear losing anyone again. All right, if you're ready, let's dive. Music in boundary. 1, never tolerate, disrespect, disrespect. The harshest lesson you'll ever have to learn. The moment you accept disrespect, you become replaceable. It doesn't matter how long you've been together. It doesn't matter how deep your love runs. It doesn't matter how many memories you share. The second she feels that you'll stay after she mocks you, belittles you, ignores you, you begin to fall. Not from her mind, but from her heart, because here's the truth. Nobody tells you. A woman cannot love a man she does not respect. Sure, she might stay, maybe for comfort, maybe for convenience, maybe because it's easier than starting over, but the admiration, the fire, the feeling that made her look at you like you were one of a kind, it dies quietly, slowly, completely. Love cannot survive where respect has withered. It's like a flower starved of sunlight. No matter how beautiful it once was, it withers, it fades, it dies. That's why you must catch disrespect. The very first time, not the second time, not when it becomes a pattern the first time. Whether it's an eye roll when you speak a passive insult wrapped in a joke, constant interruptions like your words don't matter, or testing your boundaries by entertaining other men just to get a reaction. You catch it, you address it immediately calmly without emotion. You don't yell, you don't plead, you don't explain yourself, you simply say, "Don't speak to me that way again. If it happens again, I'm gone." One warning, one moment of clarity, no arguments, no endless debates, no giving her second chances to disrespect the man you are. Because when you reward disrespect, whether by staying silent, whether by rationalizing it, whether by making excuses for her behavior, you teach her to see you as a doormat, and no one fears losing a doormat. But when you enforce your boundary without chaos, without anger, just solid, grounded certainty, you awaken something much deeper inside her, an instinct that says, "This man is rare, I cannot afford to lose him." Understand this deep in your bones. Respect isn't a gift. It's not something you hope she gives you out of kindness. Respect is a line you draw once, with absolute clarity, and you never erase it. A line that says, "This is who I am. This is what I will not accept. And if you cross it, you lose me." When you live like that, you don't have to demand respect. You become the kind of man who commands it simply by existing. Boundary. 2. Protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs, at all costs. When you stop rewarding disrespect, you reclaim something even more precious, your peace. Because without peace, no boundary holds. Without peace, you fall back into reactivity, into chaos, into weakness. Understand this. Peace is not found. It's forged. forged in the fires of discipline, awareness, and self-respect. A man at peace doesn't react to everything thrown at him. He chooses, he moves with intention, like a king walking through noise without even glancing at it. But most men, they leak their peace every single day. Every time they respond instantly to a meaningless text. Every time they argue with fools just to prove a point. Every time they chase attention, like their soul depends on it. Every time they beg for validation from people who don't even respect themselves. Piece by piece, they drain themselves, dry until one day there's nothing left but a hollow shell of a man, exhausted, bitter, desperate. You want to be respected, you want to be unforgettable. Guard your peace, like your life depends on it, because it does. Protect your time. Protect your mind. Protect your emotional space like sacred ground. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're unavailable. You don't have to defend why you don't engage in drama. You don't need permission to choose silence over chaos. You don't chase energy that drains you no matter how loudly it bangs on your door, because the calmer you are, the more powerful you become. A peaceful man radiates something stronger than money, stronger than looks, stronger than status. He radiates unshakable certainty. And that certainty is rare, it's magnetic, it's unforgettable. Women feel it, friends respect it, enemies fear it, because a man who owns his peace owns the room without ever raising his voice. So build your peace. Defend it like a warrior defends his last stronghold, because once you lose it, you lose the core of who you are, and once you master it, you become untouchable. Before we dive into part number 3, we'd like to take a moment to thank you for staying with us halfway through this video journey. In every moment, we can learn and grow, and the fact that you are here listening and reflecting with us is a tremendous gift that I cherish every minute to help us spread these valuable lessons to even more people. Please hit the like and share buttons for this video. Each share is a small but meaningful act, much like the timeless lessons Stoicism offers. Let's continue exploring and embracing these everlasting pieces of wisdom together. Once again, thank you for your continued support. Boundary 3, stay mysterious, stay mysterious, stay powerful, stay powerful. Once you've reclaimed your peace, you must learn to protect something just as powerful, your mystery, because mystery, not constant openness, is what creates magnetism. They told you that vulnerability would make her love you more, that pouring your heart out, confessing every fear, every doubt, every wound would draw her closer. But here's the brutal reality. Dump your soul into her lap too soon, and you don't become her prize. You become her project. You stop being the man she admires and start being the man she feels obligated to fix. A woman doesn't want to carry your broken pieces. She wants to feel the quiet strength of a man who carries them himself. So share your struggles. Yes, but share them through action, not desperation. Reveal your heart. Like a sunrise, slow, steady, breathtaking, not like a flood that drowns everything in its path. Because a man who carries his burdens with calm, silent resilience draws people toward him. But a man who bleeds emotionally all over others becomes exhausting. When you open up, do it with power, do it with purpose. Not because you're begging for comfort, not because you're seeking someone to save you, but because you're inviting trust from a place of wholeness. Be the man she leans on, not the man who leans on her. Hold your emotional world with sacred hands. Share glimpses, not the entire map. Offer presence, not constant explanation. Because mystery isn't about hiding. It's about holding enough back that she chooses to lean closer, again and again and again. The moment you become fully predictable is the moment desire begins to die. Stay grounded, stay strong, stay rare, because the man who reveals himself too easily becomes easy to forget. But the man who reveals himself with mastery becomes unforgettable. Master your emotions. Own your life. Boundary. 4. Master your emotions. Own your life. Once you master your boundaries, once you protect your peace, once you guard your mystery, there's one deeper level you must conquer: emotional sovereignty. Because control isn't about being numb. It's not about pretending you don't feel anything. Control is the mastery of feeling. You're not stoic because you're cold. You're stoic because your emotions no longer drive the car. You do. And this is where most men fail, when she tests you with sarcasm, with coldness, with silence that feels like a blade. Most men panic. They chase, they argue, they plead, they abandon their center. And in doing so, they lose her respect and their own. Not you. You stay rooted, you stay calm, you hold the silence longer than her confusion can bear. You don't react to her storm. You witness it like a mountain, witnesses the winds. Her emotions crash against you, but they don't move you. Her storm does not move your mountain. And in that stillness, you reveal yourself as something rare, something powerful, untouchable by gossip, unoiled by chaos, unmoved by petty disrespect. You're not pretending to be strong. You are strong. You don't seek to win petty arguments. You don't chase validation through shouting, pleading, or explaining. You seek to win your own soul. You understand the real battlefield isn't out there. It's inside. And the real victory is to master yourself so deeply that no woman, no friend, no enemy can pull you off your path. You feel everything, but you react to almost nothing. You choose when to speak. You choose when to act. You choose when to walk away, not out of fear, but out of sovereign power. And once you live like this, once you hold your frame through storms others can't even endure, you don't just attract respect, you command it in every room you walk into, not by force, but by presence. Because the man who masters his emotions masters the world within him and the world around him. Be ready to walk away. Anytime follows. Boundary 5. Be ready to walk away anytime. Everything we've built so far, your boundaries, your peace, your mystery, your emotional sovereignty, all of it leads to this, the ultimate boundary, the one that separates men who are respected from men who are forgotten. You must be willing to walk away from anything that insults your soul, jobs that drain you, friends who betray you, women who disrespect you. You stay where peace, respect, and growth live. You leave without hesitation when they vanish. No anger, no drama, no second chances, because staying out of fear is the death of your spirit. And she feels it. She knows immediately whether you're staying because you choose her or because you're afraid to lose her. And if she senses fear, she tests harder, she pushes further, she loses respect, even if she doesn't know why. But if she senses strength, if she feels that you love her, but you love your standards more, if she feels that your presence in her life is a privilege, not a guarantee, she elevates herself. She cherishes you, she fears losing you. Because deep down, every woman knows a man who can walk away without losing himself is the man no one ever wants to lose. And here's the final truth. When you no longer feel you are free, you don't cling, you don't chase, you don't beg, you stay because it aligns with your soul, not because you're terrified of being alone. You love, but you do not lose yourself in love. And if she stays with you, it's because she chooses you freely, not because you caged her with your fears. That's real power. That's real connection. That's how real men are remembered. Respect isn't something you... Conclusion demand. It's something you design in every choice, in every boundary, in every silent moment where you choose peace over chaos. Draw your lines in the sand, clearly, calmly, and without apology, not to control others, but to master yourself. Because the moment you choose respect over validation, your world changes, your energy changes, your future changes. And one day, the woman who once played games with you will see you again. Only this time, she won't see the man she used to know. She'll see the man she can never reach again. The man who became rare. The man who became undeniable. Stay rare. If this message resonated with you, comment below. I choose respect over validation. Subscribe to Stoic Heartbeat, where love embraces wisdom and men rise not by shouting, but by standing unshakable. Thank you for watching Stoic Heartbeat. If this resonated with you, don't stop here. Subscribe, explore more of our content, and let's continue this Stoic journey together. Because life isn't about chasing, it's about living fully and letting attraction flow naturally. Let's build a community full of wisdom and peace together. See you in the next video, music.